We're trying to get people ready. I think we're live.
We're live? Let a few get in there.
It was horrible. I saw a bunch of you during my break. That added stress.
We got a ref tonight?
I don't know. This is a great question.
It's a good sign.
Diet? Regular Pepsi off the regular Coke.
Maybe some onion rings. Have you met my friend in the Buckheads?
Huh?
Have you met my friend in the Buckheads? Nice guy. Steve's monthly. His name is Reggie. Jerry Rice, I
Where's
think
Eddie?
it is.
There's my man, Eddie. Eddie, Marone, Eric.
Oh, yeah, you didn't meet the new guy.
What do they got? 4. We got to wipe the floor with this team.
Son was fucked up. Elijah.
I call him Elijah.
We'll call him Elijah. Oh, yeah, great.
Yeah, we got Baines. Who's talking about.
Here we go. Here we go.
Give the ref one of the new ones.
What do you want?
Help us get the pucks. Do we have a
The
ref?
pucks?
Yeah, you're the media.
Come on. Meaty? Come on. I got enough jobs. Oh, media. Maybe.
Come on, Lees.
How we doing? Big expectations. Game 1. Yeah. I think this team's got 4 teams, 4 players over there. Well, we need to wipe the floor with this team. I need a mercy here.
I agree. I was talking that up before.
I can go for a mercy.
Especially you guys have played with Marone, Lamar. You guys
Yeah.
kinda,
Everything comes together here.
and all the lines should have good chemistry here. You know, we
Yeah.
play.
Big things.
One guy should always be backing at the point. Should be easy flowing.
Yeah.
Kept slipping.
Get him a garbage can.
I took it off and now it's This is why you have a fun.
It's a star-studded looking bench.
It's a stuff.
I'm excited. I'm excited. We know the name of this team? Gunslingers, all right.
Yeah, it's a start. 6th year. I'm expecting a winning season.
Yeah, big things.
We need a winning season. Playoffs. Anything
Oh,
less
no,
than
yeah,
playoffs,
playoffs,
and I already told the
absolutely.
team, signing.
Uh-huh.
It's already, they know. They want me to stay around. They need results.
Yeah. I mean, 6 seasons in.
We got better though. We got 3 wins last season.
I keep hearing this. Yeah, I keep hearing that the arrow is pointed up.
Terminator's like, hey, we get 4. That's another grand. But I'm like, no.
No. Come on.
Listen, 5 and 5, maybe.
No. Not no 5 and 5.
Is that successful?
I need 8. No. I need 7 and 3. 7 and 3. Come on. This is a star-studded cast.
I said 8 and 2.
I think that's very possible.
Are no longer in here. We should be able to beat Chilltown now, like no problem.
Yeah, I think we should be scratching at
like
the top bracket.
Those teams that we were just battling against
should be winning. Should be winning those games now.
I still think. Oh yeah.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, as we welcome you in here to the historic All-Star Arena. I, of course, will be your companion for tonight, the official voice of the Narwhals, James Ward. As we look into center ice, and Eric Fisher as our first picture shot, perhaps we look back on this shot. When the Narwhals are in the championship game, this is a season with high expectations, a revamped roster for these Narwhals, and anything less than a championship game will be a disappointment. We do have a full-time goalie now. Not sure what his name is, as the Narwhals will open the season up against these Gunslingers. As our second favorite ref gets ready to drop the puck. We are a tad late here, as the time is 7:09. That's 9 minutes late for puck drop. Not an efficient start to the season for this historic All-Star Arena. And the starting line for this season, of course, we got the BBC and Eddie Fisher on defense, and Marone ready to take the face-off, and Eric Fisher as his winger to his right. And the Gunslingers they win. On this, the opening face-off, and quickly taken away by Marone, and some nifty moves as he comes out with a lot of energy. He tries to dump it back to the BBC, but a one-on-one and a quick save by this new goaltender, making his Narwhals debut. And up comes the Gunslinger. He's got a man wide open across. Narwhals with a little dysfunction. Oh, and off the skate of Eddie. The Gunslingers now taking it around in a ton of energy now. At the start of this, a little collision, and up comes the BBC. The BBC trying to corral that puck, and he'll come up with a ton of speed. Up he comes with a shot on, and into the belly of the goaltender. And the Narwhals will have an offensive zone chance. BBC circling back to his defensive position. And a win on the faceoff by Marone. The BBC slapping across to Eddie, who will throw it on net. And yet another cover. And a win for these Gunslingers. And throwing it up the boards, finding his man, and having it taken away in the skirmish by Eddie, who will find Marone, fumbles with it, and here's the BBC. Able to take it away loosely, and backhanded up the boards, and somehow that puck will find its way back to him. And the BBC taking his time in a no-look pass there, dribbled by Eddie, and here he is in the corner. And he will throw it up. The passing has not been crisp for these Narwhals, but here is Marone. Oh, a chance right in the slot, and a good shoulder save by that goaltender. And up comes the Gunslingers as Coach Gary gets ready for a change. No changes thus far, but here's the Gunslingers. Oh, and just throwing that puck wide as we are 2 minutes in to an energetic game thus far. Here is Eddie Fisher. Oh, and an ill-advised pass as up come these Gunslingers with some apparent chemistry, but just one, and some collisions with the BBC. And some action here right in front of Ward as the Gunslingers will lose it. And maybe some miscommunication, but up comes Fisher now. And will he have a chance? Oh, and just looking down at the puck, needs to get his eyes up, does Eric Fisher. He had a chance there. Still no changes by either side. Gunslingers were, oh, and A quick steal from Eric Fisher, but not resulting in anything. As we approach 3 minutes gone, and this first shift change brought to you by Snickers. You're not a narwhal when you're hungry. We will get Reyes, who looks ill-equipped. Again, his sweatpants under his knee pads. That's under his thigh pads. We'll see what he can do, if that is indicative of perhaps just some swagger, or if he is just ill-prepared, as he'll get his first minutes with the puck. And able to hang on to it, though, sticky. But just a little wobbly on those skates. And throwing it on and right through the 5-hole as the Gunslingers will strike first. And then a 1-0 deficit now with 18:30 remaining in the first half for these Narwhals. As we've got some new faces out there for the Narwhals, names which I do not know. By the Narwhals, by the Red Dragon. Excuse me, that's the Red Power Ranger from last season making his return. And thrown on, but blocked away by the Gunslingers. And here's the Red Power Ranger in the corner with it, fighting for it and coming away with it. Looking up now for a pass, dancing away, and he'll have it taken away. And up come the Gunslingers. Here is Sean. Gunslingers now with a good bit of passing. And throwing it up and across. A saucer pass, just a little too wide. And here is Bill now, his signature stop. And that pass just a little too quick for the Red Ranger. Red Power Ranger now will tip it up. Oh, and a late whistle there. Thought the ref was going to let that one go, but he will not. And we will come back to center ice. Again, it remains a 1-goal deficit here for these Narwhals. Approaching 17 minutes remaining here. And Stalling is the ref as he'll drop the puck. Oh, and a chance here for the Red Ranger. But a good job stick lifting there by the Gunslingers. And he will throw it on net in the belly. Not able to corral it is the Narwhal goaltender. And here is Sean. He'll take his time in the corner. Throwing it across to Sean, with whom he has had a ton of chemistry thus far, and showing that now as he's able to get in front. And right around the right side of the glove there goes the Red Ranger. And the Narwhals are going to tie this one up here with 16:30 remaining. And face-off corralled there by the Red Ranger. Into the corner with it and losing it for a moment. And here is Sean, his buddy, and throwing it across. Good job finding the open man here for these Narwhals early in this shift. And here is Sean now. Chipping it across to the Blue Ranger, who's not able to corral it. And up comes Sean now, and the Blue Ranger's got it once more. What can he do? Getting a little sloppy with the puck. Not having shown his nut yet in the first game for these Narwhals. And here's the Red Ranger with a ton of energy. Here's the Blue Ranger now. Oh, coming across. Oh, and then leaving it for Sean. Oh, and right across. That puck just dribbled right through the crease of this Gunslinger goaltender. And here's the Blue Ranger with it. With a fake for 1 second, right across to the Red Ranger. And the Red Ranger, in one shift, has 2 goals. And Coach Gary will go for a shift after a phenomenal shift there for these Narwhals. As we tick down close to 15 minutes remaining, a 2-1 advantage for these Narwhals. As things are looking up. And just one man on the bench for these Gunslingers. Perhaps fatigue starting to play a factor. Oh, and Eric not able to corral that puck off the faceoff. Here are the man. And throwing it on net, but wide left. And up comes Fisher now. Oh, getting around one man. Oh, and then that puck deflected away. A good block by those Gunslingers. And up they come now. Oh, and off the skate of one Fisher, and Moreau not able to corral it. Up come the Gunslingers now. On the net. Oh, by the BBC to get that out. And here are the Gunslingers taking his time. A little wobbly on those skates, is he? Oh, and a good pass. And shoulder. A miscue behind the Narwhal defense, allowing that man to come right in And all of a sudden, the gap is back to 0 as we are under 14:30 with a tied game. BBC will take acknowledgement for that one. And that gunslinger goal brought to you by Verizon. Cell service from a Narwhal. Gunslingers now with a good bit of passing. Not much pressure. Here's the BBC now, and he'll take it away. And up comes the BBC right in front of Ward here. And here is Eric Fisher. And up he comes now through the blue line with a man wide open in front. Not able to get it there. Just taking his time. Coach Gary showing some frustration. And up comes the BBC. He'll go across through the crease to Marone. Taking his time now with pressure at the point. And deflecting it on is Eric. Oh, and one more. And that one will miss the net. And the Gunslingers now looking to build an attack. And the Gunslingers with a deep shot right in the belly of this Narwhal goaltender. And hitting our second favorite ref is the BBC. And then throw an ill-advised pass, but finding Marone somehow. Oh, and chipping back up with pressure. Oh, and a scary opportunity there for these Gunslingers. And the BBC will come back now. Oh, and swinging on, losing it for a moment, but making the save is that Narwhal goaltender. And throwing it all the way down is the BBC to Eric. Here he is now. Leaving it for the BBC. He'll take a shot, blocked by a Gunslinger. BBC once more in the corner. Throwing it around all the Gunslingers. And here is Eric. What can he do with it? Dancing around, finding space in the pocket, and shooting into the gut of that goaltender. But a good opportunity created there from Fisher. And the BBC will call one. And looks like we're going to get Kev. And the Red Ranger. Oh, and the Narwhals have 5. The Narwhals have 5, and the Red Ranger will come back. And a win to Cav, who's playing defenseman, and chip it down. Oh, and a cross, but a good deflection there to pick that puck off. But back to Eric. Up he comes. He'll find Marone. Not able to corral it quick enough as that puck just dribbles in the crease. Again, the score is 2-2 as we approach the halfway point of the first half. And here is Eddie. Slapping it on is Marone. And standing tall as that Gunslinger goaltender. And a full shift change Coach Gary will call for. As we will get the Blue Ranger and the Red Ranger back out there. And Marone will stay in the center. And a win on the faceoff for these Gunslingers. Chipping it up. And up once more. Narwhals have dominated the time of possession thus far, but still, the game remains knotted at 2 as the Red Ranger, as that pass chipped away. And perhaps some fatigue setting in for these Gunslingers. That shot thrown on by Marone. Nothing doing there. Red Ranger coming to Marone, keeping it in the zone, and slapping it on. Here's the Red Ranger with it. And circling around, looking to take the shot. Oh, he'll leave it for Cav. And Cav will... Oh, and here's the Blue Ranger. And that poked away by the goaltender. He's got Cav wide open in front. What can he do with it? Oh, and a phenomenal save being made here. And that Gunslinger goaltender is showing some fatigue for sure as he's getting a ton of work. Here's the Red Ranger. Oh, and just a ton of fatigue showing for these Gunslingers. The Narwhals not able to capitalize, though. Just not able to capitalize. Again, just one sub here for these Gunslingers. As up comes Marone with a ton of space. And that goaltender not even moving. As these Narwhals just not able to convert with all of this possession. And up comes Marone. And up and over that net. Gunslingers now will collect. And coming up are they. As the Blue Ranger able to chip that away. Up come these Gunslingers now with not a ton of help and somehow, some way making that one work. The Gunslingers appearingly only had one man in the zone, a 1-on-4, and able to come up and over the shoulder of that goaltender and into the corner of the net. A miraculous shot, truly, as somehow these Narwhals are trailing with a ton of fatigue being experienced here by these gunslingers. Perhaps the Narwhals not taking this seriously enough, but we have dominated the time of possession. That is not converted to goals, though. And here's the Red Ranger putting some pressure down as up comes Cap, looking for the Red Ranger, and he will find him right in front of the net. Oh, and will a tripping call be called? No, no tripping call called there on the goaltender as Cav went down. And here is the Blue Ranger shooting right on net and deflected away. And here is Bill, who has not had the puck for a lot of time, but here is Cap. And he will lose it to the Gunslingers. And then he will leave it there. And here is the Blue Ranger, one-on-one. Oh, and an ill-advised pass ending up on the stick of the Gunslinger. But then down goes Cap. And just not a lot of intensity here showing for these Narwhals as we've had an opportunity. A 2-on-1 now. And a good glove grab there from that Narwhal goaltender as we approach 8 minutes here in the first half. And the Narwhals trail by 1. After all of this possession, Coach Gary has got to be disappointed here to be trailing in the latter half of this first half. Blue Ranger taking the face-off, and Cav trying to come away with it. And here's the Blue Ranger once more. A 3-on-1 for these Narwhals. Can they convert? No, a great play by that Gunslinger. Bill not going for the puck. And they've got a man wide open, not able to corral the puck, though, and up comes the Red Ranger. What can the Red Ranger do? Going to the Blue Ranger, and across to Cav, who whiffs on the one-timer. And Bill, once more, will have to deal with the man disadvantage. And a good save there by that Narwhal goaltender. And here comes the Blue Ranger with a shot missing the net. And up and out. As we are under 7:30 here in the first half. And John Taramina will get his first minutes of the game. Perhaps Coach Gary trying to capture some of that Disney magic. Taramina will settle into the right defenseman position. And the Gunslingers winning that. And here's Taramina. Not able to get onto that puck there. But here's Marone with it right in front. And he will convert. As Bill called it. And with 6:45 remaining in the first half, the Narwhals have tied it up at 3. And Marone losing that face-off. And another soft shot gone in for these Gunslingers. As you can see, a little ass sweat coming from those sweatpants. And that's got to be disappointing for these Narwhals who have played well thus far. Still early, offering some optimism is Coach Gary. As the Narwhals now trail by 1, 4-3. Sending a shot on is Marone, but deflected wide. And here is Taramina getting it to Bill. Coach Gary commending his passing ability. And some crisp passing here from these Narwhals as Cav will look to create an opportunity. And somehow Ward did not see how that one went in, but when in, it did. Perhaps behind the back of that goaltender, and once more, this score knotted up. The Narwhals have not held the lead thus far, as Taramina will get a +1 in his goal differential. That means a lot to him. And here, and some miscommunication from the Narwhals is going to lead to a goal right through the 5-hole. And Bill's going to put that one on him. But some miscommunication from the Narwhals will immediately negate the goal they just scored. By 1, 4-5 minutes remaining here. And just a little too nonchalant are these Narwhals in a very winnable game. As Cav trying to get that one back now. And he will circle around with plenty of time. And slapping that away is the goaltender, and up come the Gunslingers now. And a man wide open, Taramina not able to keep up with him. And this is a new Gunslinger. Have not seen him. And that puck will stay in. Just off the tip of the glass there. Taramina chipping that away, stopping the one-timer. And here's the BBC. And a good job in the middle there, preventing that one-timer. And the Gunslingers have a man down low. And a good block there from Taramina. And here is Cav with it. Taramina giving a little shove. And up comes Marone as we approach 4 minutes left in the first half. And chipping it in. Oh, and Cav not able to convert there. But a good opportunity for these Narwhals as up come the Gunslingers. And the BBC will give pressure in the corner. Oh, and going right through the legs and the crease of the Narwhal goaltender. And finding the open man. Missing the net. And missing the net once more. All these Gunslingers. And finding Cav is the BBC. Cav looking across. Trying to find the open man. Taramina is in front. As he should be. And here's Taramina and some miscommunication. Not sure what he was trying to do. And some dysfunction showing here from these Narwhals as we still trail by a goal. Oh, and a good pick there, preventing the open man from receiving the puck. And here comes the BBC, missing the net completely. And here's Taramina with it, whiffing multiple times. See if he can corral himself, sending it around the boards. And here's the BBC with it, trying to stuff it in the net, as he often does. And Marone not chipping back to Cav. Now he will. And finding the BBC is Cav. Some good passing on this shift. Finding Marone, slapping it on. Oh, and that puck will dribble in. And the Narwhals once more will tie the game with just under 3 minutes remaining here in the first period. And all game, the Narwhals have put pressure down and now +2 on the goal differential from Taramina. The Narwhals have had great pressure all game, but no leads thus far. The game is now tied at 5. 10 goals total. And here's the BBC chipping up the boards. He'll find Eric Fisher. I've not seen him on the ice in a while. And he'll lose it there to a Gunslinger. As up they come. Eddie Fisher on him now. And giving pressure, forcing him back. And here is the BBC. What will he do? He'll throw it around the boards and find a Gunslinger. They've got men right in front of the net now. And he'll circle back into the corner. And taking his time, not facing much pressure from these Narwhals. And chipping up and out by the Narwhal goaltender right in front of Ward here. And some pressure exhibiting from these Gunslingers. And hitting the stick of Eddie. The BBC just clearing down. And Marone is there to receive it. What can he do with it? Circling back. Oh, trying to go to the BBC there, but chipped away by the Gunslingers. And they've got a man across. Oh, and a great job by Eddie to prevent that shot. He was wide open. A missed shot there from the Gunslingers. And here is Eddie finding his brother. Up comes Eric now, right in the slot. Oh, and that puck deflected wide. And here is Marone as we approach 1 minute remaining here. A sauce legs of Eddie. And the BBC with some time but facing pressure. And he'll find Eric, who's facing pressure from behind. Will take his time into the slot. He'll find his brother. Here's Eddie now, just throwing it across the crease. And an opportunity there for the Narwhals, not able to be converted. 40 seconds remain here as that puck deflected wide by the BBC. Right in front of Ward now. And here is Marone. Oh, and a nifty move to get around Marone there from a Gunslinger. And right over the shoulder once more. Over and over again at these Gunslingers over the shoulder of this new Narwhal goaltender as we tick down under 20 seconds here. And the Narwhals once more not able to capture a lead, and we will trail by 1, seemingly heading in as this clock ticks down under 10 seconds. We'll see if we can get a puck drop here. And it's the Gunslingers who will have the opportunity going into the half. Just 2 seconds remain. And a very disappointing first half for the Narwhals. Nonetheless, a ton of action here for the viewers. The viewer, excuse me. But nonetheless, some soft goals going in. Many, many over the shoulder of this new Narwhal goaltender. And again, with now 2 subs, that's 6 skaters total for these Gunslingers, they're able to having 1 goal advantage here over the Narwhals, and it's just got to be nothing but disappointing here for the Narwhal bench. You can see a very exuded Coach Gary, as the Narwhals have had all the pressure in this game, a ton of opportunities, but not enough converted. Some defensive mishaps and some soft goals over the shoulder have resulted in a 1-goal Narwhal deficit. As we get ready for this second half puck drop, the Narwhals trail by 1. But still plenty of time, 22 minutes on the board. And a second half face-off win, much like the first half first face-off. A win from the gun. Thrown on wide. And here is Bill up with it, not facing much pressure. And he will throw it on, hitting the right pad of the goaltender. And a scrum for it behind the gunslinger net. And there's a goal. A quick one for these Narwhals. And Bill will give himself credit for that one, as the Narwhals once more have tied it up. And if history shows, a goal is coming shortly for these gunslingers. See if the Narwhals can keep the pressure up here, as we have a new game with 20 minutes to go. And here's the Red Ranger. Red Ranger still with it now, trying to get it to his Blue Ranger, but taken away by the gunslingers. And the Blue Ranger with it now. And up he comes. He's got Cav open. He goes to him. What can Cav do? Cav taking his time now, finding the Blue Ranger once more. And he has Bill back, missing the net, wide right. And throwing it across. And up come the gunslingers now. And a good deflection. That puck does not make it to the net. Maybe that's what the Narwhals have to do. Win this one to the Red Ranger. And in the cleanest looking goal of the night. As Bill once more will give himself credit. As the Red Ranger, that's a hat trick for the Red Ranger there. As the new talent for these Narwhals proving to be worthy, as the Narwhals take their first lead of the game with just 20 minutes remaining here. A 7-6 advantage for the Narwhals. The Red Ranger with it once more, and he will find Bill. That's Little Bill. He will find Cav, throwing it across. Oh, and a good-looking throw there, but nobody there to receive from Cav. And here is the Blue Ranger finding the Red Ranger, finding Cav. Some crisp passing from this trio. Once more. Oh, and he'll just miss the wide open net. And deflecting off of the goalie. And here is Bill with it. Oh, and just a little fast for the Red Ranger to contain. And Cav now taking it away. He'll find the Blue Ranger right in front. And the goal. And all of the sudden, the Narwhals may be starting to run away with this one. As now a 2-goal advantage for these Narwhals, as these goals are starting to fall. And this star-studded line here for Coach Gary is converting. And we may have an equipment malfunction here as the puck is dropped. And the Blue Ranger now will fight for it in the corner, finding Cav. Bill able to take a break here in the defensive zone. And perhaps the best line for the Narwhals tonight. The Blue Ranger, the Red Ranger, Cav, and Bill on defense. As this trio of the two Rangers and Cav proving to be very effective as the Red Ranger once more. Oh, and a good pad save there from that gunslinger goaltender. And thrown on and blocked by Bill. And then up.
How are we feeling, boys?
And Bill. Coach Gary perhaps looking. Okay. And approaching a 4-minute shift now for this very effective line. Coach Gary will let them go. And up comes Cav with it now. With some fancy moves, and he'll just leave the puck there for them. Perhaps a little too fancy. And up come these gunslingers. Not able to corral it. Or these gunslingers. And here is Cav with it. Oh, to the Blue Ranger. A backhand into the chest of the goaltender. And up come the gunslingers once more. And a good save there. Oh, right in the slot though, one of these gunslingers. Oh, not able to corral it in time. And here is Cav as the gunslinger left it there. Just using his speed to get around that man. Gunslingers now have a man across. Oh, and getting around Marone. And then chipping out. Not able to corral that as here is Cav. Oh, throwing it up to the Red Ranger. A great pass there from Cav to the Red Ranger, who's not able to corral it and just loses that puck.
That was such a nice pass, though.
Bill now to give pressure. That puck missing. Oh, and a ton of energy here. Oh, and just an easy goal as these gunslingers were starting to show some energy. And now the advantage is 3 for these Narwhals, 9-6. And the offensive firepower here for the Narwhals showing midway through this second half. And we will get the Fisher Bros as well as Marone and the BBC out there. And Marone will win that going forward. And corralling it. That pass deflected away. And Eric taking it away. Oh, and right through the legs of that gunslinger. Oh, and behind his back. Shu Marone will go off the post. That's a goal, right? And yet another goal here for these Narwhals as the advantage is 4. And with how these goals are falling, perhaps the mercy is on the table still for these Narwhals. And a resurgence here in the second period for these Narwhals. 15:59 remains. The Narwhals 10, the Gunslingers 6. And you can see the fatigue starting to set in for these Gunslingers as they have just used their only timeout. But spirits are high for this Narwhals bench. After we went into the second half, down a goal. Narwhals now with a 4-goal advantage. Hey, the mercy is needed here. 4 goals. I'm once removed. I'm allowed to say it. Getting ready for this home stretch. 15:59 remains here for these Narwhals. Just 4 goals needed for the mercy. And post timeout, the puck is dropped. And kicked forward by Marone. And a scrum for it. Marone now will possess it. And getting ready to throw it on. Oh, and that puck will dribble in front. And the whistle blown. Narwhals with an offensive zone faceoff coming. Oh, not able to be corralled as his stick was up of Eric Fisher. And throwing it to Eric Fisher now is the BBC. Finding Marone across. What can he do with it? just sitting in the slot there. That puck deflected wide by the goaltender. And here's Eric. Oh, not able to chip it in there on the pass from his brother. And getting it back to his defenseman, who is Marone, and across to the BBC with a ton of space, slapping it on and deflected. Oh, and an incredible save there made from that gunslinger goaltender, and up they come now. Throwing it on and just no reaction whatsoever from this Narwhal goaltender. And the deficit is cut to 3. The score now 10-7, a 3-goal advantage for the Narwhals. And here is Eric, have his shot blocked. Eric still with it, behind the gunslinger net, facing some poke checks, and will eventually lose it. And the BBC will chip it away, but still with the gunslingers, and somehow into the net once more, as the deficit is now cut to 2 with 14 minutes remaining here. 10-8 the score is. A ton of action in this game, going in both directions. As Coach Gary will get his most productive line out there. Again, you've got the 2 Rangers, blue and red. You've got Cav, and you've got Bill on defense.
I call it the Power Ranger line. I got the purple thing.
And over to the Purple Ranger goes Bill. And he'll find the Blue Ranger, who will take his time back to the Purple Ranger. And finding the Red Ranger, over to the Blue Ranger, some efficient passing here. Not able to elevate that puck, over to the Purple Ranger now. And taking his time, over to the Blue Ranger, behind the net. Perhaps looking for the Red Ranger. Blue and Purple Ranger is very close now. Here's the Red Ranger. He's got Bill open across. What will he do with it? He'll go to Bill. Perhaps he'll go back to the Red Ranger. No, he'll go to the Blue Ranger. An amazing passing here. And a chance right in the slot. Gets slapped away and then into the net. And we'll have a whistle. Puck dropped at center ice. Face off won by the Gunslingers. And up they come now. Just throwing it on net. Perhaps not respecting the goaltending ability of this Narwhal goaltender. The Blue Ranger will give pressure. And here's the Purple Ranger now. Has it taken away by a Gunslinger. And just throwing it on net but missing. And here's Bill blocking that down. And up he comes, trying to do too much on his own. He's got all the Rangers around him, but somehow Bill will collect once more. Here is Bill deep as the Purple Ranger comes back to take his possession. And the Purple Ranger will give pressure and will take it away. Up comes now the Purple Ranger. And the Red Ranger will collect it in the corner. And a Gunslinger will go down. Oh, Bill not expecting it there. We're going to have a 2-on-1 opportunity here. And here is Bill to fight for it in the corner. Oh, and wide open in front of the net. Oh, and off the post. A big shot missed there. A chance to cut the deficit to 1 are these Gunslingers. Oh, and that pass just missed. Oh, and just chipped wide for these Narwhals. And somehow trying to stuff it in is the Red Ranger. Not sure how that puck didn't get in. And a missed opportunity there for these Narwhals as the advantage remains 2 as we tick down to the halfway point of this second half. The Blue Ranger will take the faceoff. And the Blue Ranger taking his time. He's got the Red Ranger. Oh, and somehow, some way he misses that shot. He had the whole net to deal with. And up come the Gunslingers now. Perhaps the Narwhal's getting too cute. Oh, and a beautiful save there. Narwhal's getting a little too cute with their shots here. The advantage remains 2. 10:30 remains. Face off won by the Narwhals. Up comes the Blue Ranger. with the other two Rangers, flanking him. Here's the Red Ranger right in front. And finally, we get it in. Excuse me, we missed that. But a nonchalant scrum from the three Rangers will end in a goal for the Narwhals and the fourth for this Red Ranger. And the advantage now 3 for the Narwhals as we tick down under 10 minutes. The Mercy still on the table. Face off won by these gunslingers. Right in front of Ward now. Oh, and the whiff on the pass as he had a man open in front. The gunslingers now with a man advantage. Oh, and not able to corral it is the Blue Ranger. And up come the gunslingers now. The Blue Ranger able to use his speed to beat him there. And he'll find the Red Ranger. Looking for the Purple Ranger perhaps. He will. Too far away was the Purple Ranger. And the Red Ranger able to corral that puck. And he's got the BBC across. Wide open. Oh, and he got too cute with it. Oh, and Mark not able to corral that easy goal. As here's the Blue Ranger. He's got Cap as they shift around. Oh, and some miscommunication. Nobody went for the puck there. As here is the Blue Ranger fighting for it. And the Purple Ranger will collect. Oh, and an ill-advised pass there. Tried to get too cute with it. And a good block there by the BBC. Finding the Red Ranger is the BBC. Oh, and right through the crease goes the puck multiple times as Coach Gary will go for a change. As 8:20 remains here. And the offensive firepower for the Narwhals has kept the lead intact. As the Narwhals will have an offensive zone chance. And a win to the BBC, who stays in on that shift change. And just missing the net wide. Oh, and missing out on a breakaway opportunity. Oh, and Marone misses the net. As here is Eric losing it to a gunslinger. And throwing it on, and a good pad save there from the goaltender. Just a solid save. Oh, and a nice nifty pass there. And then that puck deflected wide.
Oh, man.
7:30 remains here. The advantage remains 3 for these Narwhals. And perhaps an equipment malfunction or some fatigue setting in for this gunslinger goaltender. And another offensive zone chance here for the Narwhals. Lost on that face-off by Marone. Oh, and a good kick pass. Taken away by Eric now. He's got Marone across. Can he get it to him? No, that puck covered. And yet another offensive zone chance here. Oh, and yet another 5-hole goal. That 5-hole is gaping. As 6 minutes remain here. 11-9 is the score. Once more, the face-off won by the Gunslingers. And this game not over. Just a 2-goal advantage here for these Narwhals. Although these Gunslingers have been outplayed on the ice. Oh, and the BBC getting too fancy with it, but still able to collect. And finding Eddie across, who will find his brother right in front of Ward now, making a nifty move around one gunslinger. And again, too cute are these, doing too much. As here comes the BBC. A 2-on-2 in the offensive zone. Trying to get it to Moreau, not able to. And up comes the gunslinger. They leave a man wide open. And into the net once more. Softy after softy. And the deficit is just one here, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me, the advantage for the Narwhals just one. And we have a game here as Coach Gary will get his Power Ranger line back out there. But get also Taramina on the ice. Excuse me, he'll get Bill on the ice. As this Narwhal goaltender having a tough go of it in his Narwhal debut. But Coach Gary has got his Ranger line back out there. And right away, knocking the water bottle off the goaltender's net. As the Red Ranger has collected 5 goals in this incredible Power Ranger line for Coach Gary. He has a secret weapon when he puts this line out there. Here's the Blue Ranger trying to get one of his own, and he'll lose it in front of the net. Oh, and that puck way up. And here's Bill sending it up and away. And should the Narwhals hold on to this lead, no doubt the X factor is this Power Ranger line. And here's Bill with it, leaving it for the Red Ranger. And throwing it on, slapping it away are the Gunslingers. And here is the Blue Ranger. And just a lot of slapping of the sticks here as the Purple Ranger will lose it. And throwing it down, they've got a man wide open and once more into the net. And the advantage remains just one for these Narwhals as we've got 3:20 remaining. 12-11 is the score. And no doubt an exciting game here for the viewer. As Coach Gary will leave his Power Ranger line out there. As this game could end in disaster for these Narwhals. That shot misses. And here's the Red Ranger behind the net now. And he finds the Purple Ranger up top, who will go back to the Red Ranger. And right in the slot, getting his stick held down. And into the net goes the Blue Ranger. To keep him out till we mercy. As 2:30 remaining here, the advantage back to 2 goals for these Narwhals. And yet another 5-hole goal is in as the advantage back to 1 for these Narwhals as we tick down close to 2 minutes. And Coach Gary will use a timeout.
Henderson, get me horny, kid. Yo, what's the word from the booth?
Huh? Nothing good. Nothing good. An exciting game nonetheless for the viewer. And the timeout is over, and we are no doubt in for an action-packed 2 minutes here. as the score is an unbelievable 13-12. And Coach Gary will leave out his powerhouse Power Ranger line out there. The Red Ranger with 5 goals on the night. No doubt the X factor in this game for these Narwhals. You okay?
Yeah, I'm done. I need to get it.
Yep.
But you like one?
What is it?
It's dead.
Oh.
Throw it out there.
As up come these gunslingers, as they've got a chance right across and they'll miss the net. The gunslingers once more with it now. They've got just 1:30 left. They have 1 goal to make up. Will that timeout backfire? And a good glove save there from the Narwhal goaltender. As 1:30 remains, and the clock no longer running with such a close game. And a defensive zone faceoff here for the Narwhals. And won by the Gunslingers, and up comes the Red Ranger. And here is Bill. Calls from the bench to dump it. Bill perhaps getting too cute with it, but we'll dump it nonetheless. 1:15 remains here. Here is the Red Ranger giving pressure. And Bill will collect it with plenty of time. Ticking down towards 1 minute now. Here's the Blue Ranger with it. And chipping it back to Bill. Narwhal's killing some time now. And he'll send it all the way around towards Ward. The Red Ranger will collect. Narwhal's looking to keep pressure on here. Keep the puck away. Wow, and a miraculous save.
46 seconds.
With just 46 seconds, and you can feel the tension building in this historic arena. The Red Ranger to take the faceoff and to win it. Getting it back to Bill. And throwing it wide left of the net. Bill getting back now. Not risking anything. And throwing it around is Bill. And here's the Red Ranger with it. What can he do? 30 seconds remain. 1 goal cushion for these Narwhals. As the Purple Ranger will chase it and get there. Oh, and just missing the Red Ranger. As now the Gunslingers are going to have a chance. Throwing it on and throwing it wide. Perhaps all they need to do is hit the net. As here's the Blue Ranger with just 13 seconds remaining, needing to kill that time. And getting it to the Purple Ranger. Perhaps the Narwhals are home free and throwing it up. Oh, and slapping at it is the Red Ranger with just 1 second remaining. And a victory, an action-packed game, perhaps the most exciting Narwhal game we've seen thus far through 5 seasons. And what a way for this game, this home opener, to go with a Narwhal victory with 13 goals on the board and 12 in the back of the Narwhal net. An unbelievable victory here for the Narwhals. Action-packed. The heart is racing the entire game with each tick of the clock. And no doubt there are going to be goalie discussions with building up to game 2. The Narwhals have seemingly discovered their powerhouse line with the 3 Power Rangers, with Bill playing defense behind them.
Go Power Rangers.
An incredible X factor now Coach Gary has in his back pocket.
What do you mean?
Saying goodnight here after a 13-12 Narwhal victory from the historic All-Star Arena. This is the official voice of the Narwhals.